Podcast rolling, let the stories unfold. In every tackle, there's a legend told. To Yorkshire, middle lengths, line in the frame. Sharing our passion, never the same. From the pitch to the pod, it's all in the game. Rugby league brothers, together we claim. Rhinos charge on with a roar and a cheer. All chaos, fighting spirit, we hold it dear. Saints in the mix, bringing glory near. Together we rise, no room for fear in this Super League. In the heart of Leeds, Mighty Rhinos, hear our call. Through trials and triumphs, we stand tall. In this podcast journey, we find our way. Together united, brighter days that stay.
Welcome back to a Mighty Rhinos Podcast.
Welcome to the Mighty Rhinos and to Yorkshire for a Saint Rugby League podcast, a crossover clash of pods special episodes. It's a two-part episode moulded into one. This part podcast was I was supposed to be joined by Carlos. Fortunately, cannot join me tonight because as this has been recording, still in Vegas. And this gets out, I'm presuming he'll be home by then, but at that point, obviously, would have already filmed. So, live this week, it's obviously a pre-record. Me and Gaz are doing the second part to Yorkshire for a Saint. This part is the Vegas special. Carlos is going to be joining me to give his match analysis. It won't be a face-to-face conversation, obviously, still over there. It being an 8-hour time difference, I think they're 8 hours behind us. It isn't possible with times and commitments, etc. on my part, so apologies for that. It's kind of gone up in the air. We roll with it. That's what we do. We roll with it. We still, as long as we can get some episodes out for you guys, that's basically the only thing that we try and do. So that's all that matters to us three. So for me, I'm solely talking about the Vegas game, which, like I say, I would have loved to have had Carlos join me, so we could dive straight into it a little bit better with us both there, but we'll just go into it. So, quite a surprise. I will not lie, there's a hell of a lot to sink his teeth into that. I don't think anybody expected that. I don't think anyone could have predicted that scoreline or predicted that effort. But me and Gaz mentioned this to Carlos. It's the first time they've been in this position. Obviously, Rhinos and Saints have been there numerous times. You do very much hung over in it, in a sense of such a high that you kind of sometimes forget to just carry on playing. It's difficult because as much as KR fans, Rovers fans will have been disappointed, they're still going home as champions, world champions. So if I'm putting my Rhinos hat on, which obviously this is the Rhinos part, I thought we were sensational, and I don't use that word very often. Probably one of the best Rhinos performances I've seen in a while, and I'd love to say Carlos will agree with me, because I know he's not that sort of type. That Rovers were nowhere near. They were nowhere near good enough, nowhere near. But that doesn't overshadow the performance from the Rhinos. I thought we were absolutely spot on. I mean, I did see some of the stats, but I didn't kind of keep on track of the stats. I think I'm more trying to stay awake more than anything, considering it kicked off at midnight. There were not a chance in hell I were missing that game. I ended up keeping on sofa because I would I ended up having an hour, I think, just before it started, because I wanted to watch it all. There were no chance I was missing that game. And yeah, I just thought we were really, really good. Really, really good. They've just come off a World Club Challenge. Obviously, as Rhinos know, when you're at that high point, when you've just won a World Cup Challenge, you've won all 4 trophies, right? There's nowhere else better to be right now. There's no other trophies they can win that they've not got. This is obviously a part where it can be kind of worrying, because what you get as well is you get some players that will move on. because they've done it. Do you know what I mean? Like, the amount of Australians, Kiwis that come over to Super League that are hungry to win a Challenge Cup or hungry to win a Super League. And then as soon as they win it, they're looking to exit then. And that's mainly because they've won the trophies and they've got what they wanted to come for. So, as much as I don't think that's the case with Rovers, because I'm pretty sure everyone wants to kind of play for Willie Peters, but it can be a thing. It can be a thing. Pretty sure Tyrone May isn't sure whether he's going to... I'm sure I read something about him wanting to play with his brother or something back home, so if I've got that right. So there's that, do you know what I mean? It's one of those things, it's right, we've won all 4 trophies, right, what, we do it again? Okay, that's great. But it's no matter what they do now, it's never the first time, which the first time is always the best. So it's one of those, it's one of those, it either attracts high profile players that come to you because you're world champions, which is good for them because they keep progressing, they keep within that bracket of Super League contenders, or they fall off because everyone's wanting to leave, which can happen. It can happen. I mean, look at Leeds. We've got people leaving us end of this year, which is just absolutely bollocks. And the only person that's leaving that I actually don't want to leave is McDonald. I actually don't give a rat's ass about Newman now. He's been itching at me for last month, especially through Ashes and stuff. I've got to the point now where, because I know he's going, he's a bit of a shite. I feel like he ain't going to do much in NRL, because I reckon he'll either get it kicked out of him. He's got a really bad attitude. He really has. And I don't think, let's be fair, he's a good player. I'm not going to lie, he's a good player. I don't think he's as flashy as he was. I don't think he does for us what most people would say he could do. Yeah, he cuts back inside. He's got an okay kick when it's on cuff sort of thing. Or for lengther, he's quick. He's a good player, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he'll be a huge miss. Do you know what I mean? If we put Alfie Edgill or Riley Lum into centre, I'm not gonna say, oh, we're gonna be really bad, because I don't think it's gonna make a difference. I think what'll make a difference is Rhino and Sivo going, because obviously we've kind of got that cemented now. So anyway, let's dive into Vegas. So Rhinos, we actually kept Rovers out for 65 minutes, which is absolutely ridiculous. Croft got 2 tries. Palacia, Ryan Hall got 1, which is good to see him keeping that tally up. Jenkins got 2. And Mako Sivo got 4 tries. 4 tries in the man of the match performance. And the only try from the Rovers were from Burgess, which was a good try, to be fair. Wow. I've got to do it. I thought, Mako Sivo, right? This guy is insane. Absolutely insane. Now, if I take us back just briefly to when Rhinos had David Fossatua, right? We signed a player from the NRL. I can't remember where we signed him from. But this player, it were nippy. It was slim. It were nippy, and he had such good stats in the NRL, and but he had a full season injury, so he went down pecking order basically. But when he played, he was one of the high try scorers. So we sign him, and we're thinking, wow, this is good. This Rhinos don't sign wingers usually. You know what I mean? It's probably the first time we've signed an actual winger for a while. Because like I say, we had Tom Briscoe, Ryan Hall's been there. We kind of brought us players through system sort of thing. Scott Donald, I think, were probably the last one we had. Marcus Bai. We had Lee Smith, obviously, as well, that came through. So we signed him for the tour. And he was an absolute... I mean, he did score some okay tries, but he was an absolute flop, in my opinion, long before he goes back. So we signed a guy called Mako Sivo, 32-year-old. Papua New Guinean, I'm sure, or Tongan, built like a brick shit house. Don't look like he's gonna be very fast. We saw him, I think, in the testimonial game, and he ran full length, and he ended up passing because he were lagging a little bit. Then obviously we're looking at it going, is he that fast? He don't seem to back himself. So then obviously goes on a 13-month injury, which in his fault. Feel sorry for the lad, feel sorry for his family that came over. Big commitment to come over other side of the world and literally play one game, and you're basically ACL 13 months out. It's ridiculous. But Brad Arthur put it to him and said, you can either have number 2 or 22. Do you want to go again, sort of thing? Now, this guy could have literally just gone, you know what? I'm going to just go back home. No one probably would have thought out different. You know, I said this to my brother on last week's pod. At that point, he didn't do enough of an impact to the Rhinos that we would have looked and gone, oh, he's a big loss, him. He hadn't played 6 or 7 rounds into the season, scored a few tries, been a standout player. And we're going, oh, Jesus, Nico Stivo, I'm gutted he's going. We didn't know him, in a sense. So Riley Lund played most 17 games first season. Matt Edgill started sharing with him with games. We actually managed really well on the wings, to be fair, to a point where we didn't even really, we didn't look weaker or anything. So he comes back. He comes back after 13 months, and I've got a bit of a question mark on him because he was a bit iffy. I think it was a League game or the York game. I think it was the York game. He got a little niggle. He scored, got a little niggle. I'm thinking, is he one of those players that literally is really good, but always gets an injury like Matt Calderwood, what's same? And he carried on. And he's literally, he turns up to Vegas, right? And he scores 4 tries. And they weren't just 4 tries, they were absolutely worldies. I mean, a couple of them were questionable. I thought the one in the corner, if it had been down as a knock-on, I probably would have been okay with that. Carl probably will have said it was a knock-on. We had, who else did we had? Palacia's were a bit 50-50 as well. But it wasn't one of those games. Those didn't matter. Do you know what I mean? Chalk 2 tries off. It didn't make a difference. But yeah, and that drop out from Lachie Miller. And he absolutely burst onto that ball. What an absolute player. He was bursting down that wing, and I was thinking, wow, we have got an absolute gold of a player here. Wow, this is insane. And obviously got tackled, managed to keep him play, because I feel like he was going to get pushed out, or they were trying to. Ended up quick hands over top to Rhino. Rhino scores a try. Keeps that tally going, which is great to see. Keeps that, he's not going to score hat-tricks every game because he's 38 years of age, but he keeps a try every game, every other game. That'll do me. Just keep that tally going. I thought Jake Connor is 40-20, ridiculous. I thought he's absolutely insane. Obviously, we all spoke about it with Ashes. He should have played in Ashes, 100%. I don't think it made a difference in the actual Ashes series, because I still think we were dog shite. But he would have played, it'd have been a little bit better. Jake Connor, Brodie Croft, absolutely insane. Don't think I've ever seen him play so well. To be fair, he's had a good few rounds to play in. Now, we hadn't actually had this last season. We didn't actually have this where Jake Connor and Brodie Croft were playing absolutely outstanding together. Like when you look at Rovers and you think of Wigan, when you think of Jai Field and Bevan French and, Mikey Lewis and Tyrone Mays, they all play great together all the time. Realistically, no one really has a bad game. They all play well. We've kind of struggled with that. Games where Brodie Croft's been a bit off par. But Jake Connor stands up and it's like, right, okay, we're okay. But it's probably one of the first times I've seen them both play absolutely outstanding together. And I think that's when you look at it and go, that partnership's insane. Like, he was kicking high bombs with Brodie Croft, doing a lot more than he usually does. Not ball. I think his celebration's just insane. That insane celebration he does, like he's about to burst into Incredible Hulk. Yeah, I thought they were outstanding. And one of my favourite players, one of my favourite signings for Rhinos, and I absolutely love the guy, Cooper Jenkins. What a player. What a player. He is absolutely outstanding. He put his head down and make some yards. Wow. 2 fantastic tries. It was just ridiculous. And when you're talking about the result, right, and it's harsh. It really is harsh, because there were a hell of a lot of tries in that game for Rhinos that were, I wouldn't say were, to be fair, yeah, soft. Cooper Jenkins' first try, soft. Palacia, not the try itself, because obviously he had to reach out and put it down, which obviously were a bit 50-50 call, but getting to the line, that was soft. I thought a couple of Sevo's tries were a bit soft. Yeah, I mean, there were nothing that we didn't deserve. Do you know what I mean? We deserved them. The Brodie Croft, I think it was the second try that he runs back into the middle and scores. Any other day, Rovers are better than that. They are better than that. I just think they've all just had a little bit too many Jaegers. I'm not criticising them. I'm not criticising them because I know what it's like. We've been there many times. It's the thing is, right, and I did mention it at the beginning, but when you've won every trophy, it is very difficult to get yourself geared up again. It is very difficult when you've won it all, right? Especially, you can win Super League like Saints did 3 years in a row. Right, we'll win a Challenge Cup now and again. Right, we'll win World Cup Challenge now and again. Right, that's fine because you're consistent. That's fine. You're winning trophies, you're consistent, right? But when you win all 4 in one season, technically 2 seasons because obviously World Cup Challenge is year after, but when you win it all in one season, right? There's no else to go for. You kind of deflate, kind of get a bit deflated where it's like, oh my god, because the amount of effort and work that went into winning all them were ridiculous. The fact that they kept most of the players fit during all that time was just ridiculous. Full credit to them. Did I think they had it in them? No, I didn't. I thought they'd score. I thought they might have won one trophy, maybe Challenge Cup, but no, I didn't think they'd do treble. And they have, and it just showed you where they are as a team. But like I say, the Vegas game is just a perfect example of, they've done it all. The current champions are walking home from Vegas, flying home from Vegas, and it's right. Well, we lost. We've lost first 2 games of the season. We're probably bottom at league or something. We've got a game in hand, obviously, because we play at World Cup Challenge. Right, there's plenty of rounds left, but so what? We've lost 2 games. Not really that bothered, to be fair. It's where then you say that to St Helens, you say that to Warrington, you say that to Wigan, you say that to Leeds. No. We want to start well. We want to start well because we want to make sure we right the wrongs, where we fell short at Saints. We want to make sure we get to a final this year. We want to make sure we win Challenge Cup final. We're fighting for a trophy, even if we don't win a silverware. We're challenging. And it's one of those, and when you go to Vegas, right, and you put 58 points past the world champions and 28-0 at half time, that's just something. It's just ridiculous. If I'm putting my to Yorkshire Saint hat on and not the Rhinos one, I don't know whether I'm a bit disappointed because Wigan and Warrington, despite Wigan running away with it at the end, it were a spectacular game, all that stuff. There were some good tries, blah, blah, blah. Now, Leeds go and absolutely crush the world champions on a big stage like that. I wouldn't say it's disrespectful to Rovers, but it shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, it's a very good result. Very good result. I thought it was just outstanding. So at this point now, I'm just going to bring Carlos in and let Carlos just give you a bit of a match analysis of the game and what he thinks about it. So hopefully he's not feeling too down about it. He knows full well that they can pick themselves back up. So all yours, Carlos.
Good morning from sunny Las Vegas. Me being a Hull KR supporter, not the best results for the Robins, but you've got to tip your hat to the Rhinos, their players and their supporters, because the fans made a lot of noise like we did, and ultimately on the day they was far better than Rovers. I mean, I don't want to take too much away from the Rhinos, but because they was outstanding, they was squeaky clean. They didn't drop much ball. Sevo obviously scored 4 tries, etc. Connor kicked most of his goals, and sometimes that happens, and sometimes you just got to tip your hat and be graceful of defeat, and that's what we had to do. Like I say, credit to the Rhinos. There was pretty top draw. Very few errors in their game. As for Rovers, it's not the Hull KR team that we've seen over the last 3 or 4 years under Willie Peters. The defence was soft, really soft. That's the most frustrating thing from my point of view. I mean, some of the tries that Rhinos scored. Yeah, there was some good set plays, but literally Rhinos came straight through the middle of our guts, and very, very soft tries in terms of not even getting a hand laid on them when there was touching down through the middle of the park under the sticks. So yeah, that was frustrating from a Rovers point of view, and there's going to have to be some stern words after that performance, because I don't like to criticise too many players, because Rovers have been outstanding, like I said, for the last couple of years, and winning what they've won now, they've set the bar very high. So any type of defeat, let alone a big defeat, is going to be in for criticism, and rightly so, because you've set them standards as players and as a club, and you've got to sort of stick with them. So yeah, that is a downfall of success, unfortunately. Take anything away from Rhinos, because they was outstanding from 1 to 17. Like I say, squeaky clean. In the end, they deserve their win. So fair play to them. I will see you all on the other side when we return. Like I say, our last day in Las Vegas today. We fly home a bit later on, but by the time we get home, it's going to be sort of early hours of Wednesday morning. Just going back to the whole event, absolutely outstanding from start to finish. You just get here and it's glitz and glamour. Everything's massive. It's really difficult to take it in, to be honest.
I say, just heard from Carlos there. Very well, yeah, understand exactly what he's saying. Us did deserve it, obviously, as I was just saying to you guys. Nice to see how humble he is, because he's a very humble guy. He could be sat there whinging and saying, this, but he's true to his words. He understands the result and kind of what it meant. As a Rhinos fan, absolutely couldn't be happier. Over the moon with that. I don't think I've ever seen Rhinos play that good in a long time. It was trophy worthy, I would say. I would 100% say that. I think we've beaten teams with a worse performance than I've just seen. Like, we've played worse than the Vegas game and still managed to win against bigger teams. If we approached every game this season like that ferociousness, that attack, that defence, that just willing to just throw the ball around, the fact how we just offloaded him, we just, the amount of times we just, it would a bit of a slow start for both teams, minutes in before, they were just kicking back and forth, and then started to use as wingers, quite good passing down line, and we were just utilised as wingers, especially that left edge with Sivo. We just did really well, and like I say, if we approach any side this season, we're in a good shout, and we play Castleford Tigers Sunday, and if we play like that, there's no reason why we can't do exactly the same. Obviously, you'd expect that result at Castle away, well, at home to Cass. You'd expect that result than you would, expect that result against the world champions. So let's hope we can kind of go and replicate what we did in Vegas. We've got a long bit of a wait for next Sunday. Boys, a massive rest. I'm sure they'll be very badly jet lagged. Give them a chance to get back and get fit and get back training again. Can get some bodies back. Aledski, Jeremiah Matatui. Hopefully we can get him back. Just to be fair, we're not that far off. I think we've only got a couple of players that are out. It's not nothing to be worried about at the moment. But yeah, so that's kind of it for this part. I did really want Carlos in the episode with me throughout before we skip to part 2. But yeah, remember this is a clash of the pods. So it is Mighty Rhinos and 2 Yorkshire for a Saint podcasts for this week only, with it being for the Vegas game. So that is me for now, and stay tuned. Part 2, where Gaz will be joining me for the 2 Yorkshire for a Saint Rugby League podcast part 2 side of the episodes. And unfortunately, Carlos will be missing again. So it will be next week when Carlos is back. It's for part 1. Tuned for part 2, with Gaz. Thanks very much, guys. We did, it was a two-parter. So we did, obviously, a Clash of the Pods, which were the Mighty Rhinos podcast and Two Yorkshire Saint podcast. This was part 2.
Welcome to the Two Yorkshire Saint podcast, powered by Acorn Joinery Leeds. If you're new to us, welcome to the show. Glad to have you on board. If you've been here before, welcome back. Jordan, the results from last week, a lot of unexpected results, let's put it that way. What do you reckon?
Yeah, there were a couple of surprises in the week. Obviously, we went with Thursday night. We had Wigan Warriors beating Lee Leopards 54-0, which was, I think, Harris tracked me what I said last week about Leopards being a storm.
Yeah, I expected Wigan to win, but not by that kind of margin.
Yeah, it's. I think they've definitely got eyes on them for sure with that result. Did a closer encounter considering they beat Leeds, did Leopards, and obviously they give you a game. So it's a bit of an odd one, that one. But so we had that on Thursday. Friday, another surprise. York Knights and Hull FC. York Knights with a drop goal.
Yeah, again.
17-16.
Some season for them now. I think I did pick York to win that, but I mean, fair play. They just turned up out the early on.
They're beating both Hull teams, so it's not something to sniff at. It's a good effort, is that? I think when you
made up with them.
I think when we're talking about these promoted teams, I think if we'd have said that at start of the season, that York had been beating both Hull teams within the first few rounds, you would be laughing, wouldn't we, with that?
Well, I did put my neck on the line and predict them to get the playoffs, and I know it's early doors, but I could be right.
Do you know what you could be? I could be completely off the mark with Leopards, and you could be bang up money with York. Very impressive. Very impressive.
I've got Lee to finish well, to be honest. So we'll see.
Have you? I know that's a great effort from York Knights. Absolutely fantastic. Giants, Tigers, 34 points to 8.
Yeah, didn't expect Cast to win. There's nothing else the unusual there for me.
Yeah, no, they're it's one of those. I saw a post about it a few days ago, and they basically were saying like it would bottom of the league sort of title game, if you want to say. I think it was very much that sort of game, wasn't it? Not expecting a lot from both of them this year, to be honest.
Yeah, it's the I don't want to use the term, but it's the battle of the wooden spoon, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is, certainly.
No disrespect to any Huddersfield fans.
Well, this is the thing, you see. I was saying this when we announced these teams last season, these new teams. You wouldn't expect York and Bradford, and even to lose. I mean, it's a long season. We know things can change, fatigue and everything through season. They might all three drop off, but they're definitely better than Tigers and Giants at the moment, even Catalans. So there's something going on there that needs to be sorted, certainly. Obviously, you played at the Dragons Stadium, 36 points to 4 winners. How do you think that game went?
What I'm noticing with Saints at the minute is we're trying to go set for set in the first half, like a boxer trying to feel out the opponent, and then they're going for it.
Yeah.
Whether we left that too late at Warrington, I think that might be the case, but definitely done it against Lee and Catalan. So the turning point was Dodds try getting shots off and then going up the other end and scoring. I think that was when the game changed. Then the momentum flipped.
Yeah. No, they're like I say, we know Dragons are struggling anyway, obviously, but it is an hard place to go, is Catalans to win. I think the wins are happening more now than before. I think Super League teams have kind of got used to that playing field and etc. Very, very much good result for Saints. I think you're very much like Leeds at the moment, aren't you, where you lost a game and then you're picking yourself back up and kind of righting the wrongs, if you want to say. Which obviously is a good performance.
I'm happy with the defence. First of all, there was a few sets on our line. We held our own and kept them out for the pretty much the entire game, apart from that one try near the end. But
Hmm.
yeah, I'm happy with that. There's room for improvement, of course there is, but it's one of them. You just have to let the season go as planned.
Any standout players for Saints that you're impressed with so far this season?
Jackson Hastings for a
Yeah.
start.
Yeah.
Harry Robertson just doing Harry Robertson things. Joe Shorrocks, his defence is spot on. I mean, I think he got 46 tackles against Lee on his own.
Yeah,
I've
he's
not
good.
seen any
He's a good player.
in this game, though. I was sceptical at first when he came in. I liked it, but I thought, I don't know. But he's proven his worth. I think he might get another contract out of it if he keeps.
Well, we had him, didn't we, for a few games? I think that was more just to help Salford out with a bit of funds at the time, trying to get rid of players, weren't they? I knew he wasn't going to stay at Leeds, but it was a good signing for you, definitely, when you were starting your recruitment with Paul Rowley and getting new players in. I did definitely think that was a good recruitment for you guys.
The men were in the pack as well, so he's
that's what I mean. He's quite like good utility player, isn't he? So on Saturday, Warrington played Wakefield, and Warrington was winners 27-16. I saw a bit of that game. Wakefield did give him a bit of a scare. I think we all said Warrington to win that game, didn't we?
Yeah, I knew Warrington, but I thought they'd blow them away, to be honest. Warrington, they had the week off. Wakefield have been having some battles as well, but they kept themselves in it. So I think it's starting to come together a little bit for Wakefield. Just need to get that win over the line.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised. I thought they were kind of going to start again, where they left off from last season. I mean, we know it's a long season. There's more teams in season. There's a few more games, isn't there? I don't know if you know, Gaz. Is it still top 6 for playoffs?
Yeah, it's still the same format, I believe.
Is it? Right, okay. So Wakefield obviously needing to pick themselves back up from that. Warrington still going strong. I think they're going to be a force to reckon with going forward by the looks of it, or how it usually happens, which they usually do blow teams away at the start and then they kind of ease off, don't they? So we'll see what happens with that. And then Sunday we had Bradford and Toulouse, which were very much the championship game of last season, wasn't it? Bradford 18-6 winners at Odsell. I can't call that game really. It could have gone either way. Both teams are playing really well.
I think I picked Bradford because they were playing at home. If that had been at Toulouse, I think the result would have been the other way around.
Yeah, probably. I probably agree with that. I think it's one of those games where, like say, I think it's going to be a long season for these promoted teams. We know that, but they are 100% giving it. Do you know what I mean? I can't say can't fault them. They definitely have stepped up the plate, and we can talk about it all day. Like I was stressing about it when they came in, and I was talking about the fitness and fatigue, and can they play with big boys? It's the fitness is a whole different level as Super League, as we know. And so far so good. They're up there and they're competing, and fair play to them. It's what we want.
Have you seen the current top 4?
Yeah. Is it Bradford 4th?
It's Wigan,
second,
Leeds,
Wigan top.
Bradford. It's like going back 20 odd years.
Going back, yeah. I saw that. Literally, I saw that just as I was about to come on. It was like back in day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's quite scary, really.
Like normal services resumed.
Yeah.
Sorry, Carl.
Right. So yeah. That's the results of the week just gone by. And then obviously now we'll go on to my team of the week, which is a biased week. It's going to be a
shock to a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a biased week. It's got to be. I'm sure you'll be okay with that this week, Gaz. It's a game. Obviously, I were a bit gutted with that. I didn't get to talk to Carl with properly. As in being obviously in Vegas, which is understandable. But Leeds Rhinos, I don't think I've seen them play as good and as ruthlessness as they played. It's a little bit overshadowed with the fact that Rovers were nowhere, near at all. And there were a lot of easy tries, a lot of 50-50 calls with some of the tries. They didn't play very well, Rovers, and that's kind of where it's a bit weird, because we fully deserved the win, but Rovers just they laid down and let us do it. So it was a bit of a weird one for me, that. I don't know if you got to see some of the game or.
I've seen highlights. I know you want to highlight Sevo as well, who just absolutely. That one for me was when he caught the dropout.
Yeah,
it's a shame he didn't score from it as well. He deserved the try.
I mean, this guy Sevo, his stats are just ridiculous in NRL. I think he went a full season and scored, I think, pretty much a try a game. Were absolutely fantastic for Parramatta Eels. And obviously, he had that unfortunate injury after Ash Hanley's testimonial, which unfortunately gave him a 13-month out of the game, which I did feel sick for the guy, because he brought his family over on the side of the world and basically, played one game and that were it. And honestly,
you don't want to see that happen to anyone.
No, you don't. But literally, what a return! 6 tries in 3 games.
Yeah,
like, he's got to be applauded. That is absolutely fantastic.
6 and 2, isn't he?
Yeah, I think it is 6 and 2 actually. I think I'm wrong. Yeah, 6 and 2. Yeah, he got 4. He got 4 at Rovers. I think he scored 1 last week at York, and then I think he got 1 at Lee. I think
he reminds me of like a prime Ryan Hall.
He does. It's a good thing for Leeds. It really is, because I think when you look at how he played, he's definitely given us something that I didn't think we needed, if that makes sense. He played 1 game last year and were injured the full season, and we obviously had Alfie Gillen, Riley Lum, and I've said this in my Mighty Rhinos podcast, that you couldn't literally miss him because he didn't play enough to have the impact, if you know what I mean. Like, you can't play 1 game and say, oh, we miss him. I think now, if we can keep him injury free, I think it's could be a good season for Leeds. Very much so. I'm very excited going forward now. A lot more excited than I was. I thought I'd just have to mention as well, Jake Connor were tremendous as well. Again.
That partnership with Croft is going to be something else.
Do you know, it has to be said, it is ridiculous. They both played fantastic in that Rovers game.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them both play that good together.
It's like the polar opposites as halfbacks, but they mesh well.
Yeah, no, they were absolutely fantastic in that game. So long story short, because obviously I babbled on about these in part 1. But Rhinos Team of the Week. It might be the only time I mention it, to be fair, because there's 14 teams in the league, and I think how it all came about. I think I have to mention them as Team of the Week. So now, guys, we move on to you.
We're on to Bad Lads Corner. Quite a bit from that game, to be honest. There's 3 of your lads who've been misbehaving.
3 of our lads.
Danny Levi, grade A, head contact, 1 penalty point, no further action. Again, your man Sevo, grade A contact on a late contact on a passer, 1 penalty point, no further action. Jared O'Connor, grade A, head contact, 1 penalty point, no further action, so nothing to report there. Peter Riku, late contact on a passer, 1 penalty point, no further action. I can't. Sue, I'm going to say Sue. From LKR. Grade A, other striking offences, so misbehaved a little bit there.
Yeah.
One penalty point, no further action. Move on to Wigan. Brad O'Neill, grade A, dangerous contact, 1 penalty point and a fine. Junior and Sember, grade B, dangerous contact, 3 penalty points and a fine. For Toulouse, oh wow, I've realised how many there are here. Joe Cater, grade A, late contact on a passer, 1 penalty point, no further action. Joe Cater again, Hang on, have I done that twice in there? Have I done that? Oh no, he's up there 3 times for 3 offences.
3 times. Wow.
Yeah.
Is that a ban then?
Saying no further action on all of them.
How
So
many
there's a
points is
grade
it
A-
until they get a ban?
Do you know what? I can't remember. Let us know in the comments because we haven't done that kind of homework yet.
All right, fair
So
enough.
Joe Cater, grade A late contact on passer, grade A head contact, and grade B strikes off the ball. So he's been a bit of a naughty boy there.
Sounds it.
So he got 1 penalty point up to 1 penalty point to 3 penalty points. Now, I don't know if they're going to add up or if they're a separate thing. I'm not sure, but we'll see. And Anthony Marion, grade B dangerous contact, 3 penalty points and a fine. Warrington Wolves, grade B head contact, Ben Curry, 3 penalty points and a fine. Jack Billington from Huddersfield, grade B late contact on passer, 3 penalty points and a fine. And Chris Patolo, also from Huddersfield, grade B contrary behaviour, 3 points and a fine. Yeah, they've been busy this week. There's a bad lads corner.
Yeah, it sounds it. It's just weird, isn't it, how it can show that, especially at Rhinos, for example, how you can put that result with Rovers and still have, 3-4 people on bad lads corner. It just shows you how fragile and these head contacts and, they don't mess about now, do they, with the fines and the points, etc. It's
Boy.
It's very easy, isn't it, to get points on you nowadays.
I mean, I do prefer it to just like, oh, you've done this, you're banned.
Yeah.
It is better. I mean, it's better for the club, like the players to keep playing, but in the long run, we don't know.
No.
Onto the news round. I think this might be one of the biggest stories. Parramatta continue to work with Zach Lomax and his agent to find him an NRL club after a deal with Melbourne falls through. Apparently, the 2 clubs couldn't find an agreement to give consent for Zach to go and play for Melbourne. It's a weird one, this, isn't it? Because he was supposed to go to this Rugby 360 or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
And now it looks like that's not happening. And they say, listen, you either play for the Eels or you're not playing at all unless you can sort something out.
Yeah, it's a bit of an odd one, isn't it, that? Unfortunate for him, isn't it, that's kind of come about.
So no, you can't play for the Eels until 2028.
I say, what does he do now then?
Oh, that's why they're trying to find a club, because they have to give consent for them to go play for this club and get something in return. But obviously, the agreement with the Melbourne Storm fell through. Peter Vlandis confirms talks coming regarding NRL investing in Super League. And I'm potentially taking State of Origin on the road. Now, I've seen James Graham saying, be selfless, let this happen. And I do agree with him to an extent, because I think the game needs it over here. It will roll over and die if we don't do something very quick.
Yeah, no, I agree.
With clubs,
it's been rumoured a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
This like having a stake in Super League.
Yeah, I think I've been trying it for a while, but I think the RFL have been a bit too stubborn, in my opinion.
Yeah. I don't know whether that's in RFL's mind, that if they come and, I mean, because this could be actually true, that they're scared that if they have a stake in it, they might kind of like take over and, completely change it, which, it could happen, couldn't it? But I think for the funds of it, because obviously we know it's a multi-million, isn't it? It's NRL.
I mean, look at the game
turnover
over there.
is ridiculous.
It's so much difference.
It is. And if You know what I mean? It's when you think of players, how much players get paid, etc. It's not a lot over here. So I think if that could be different, you know, they could come and maybe players could get more money. That might be better for the game. I don't know whether I want rules changing, etc. and stuff like that. But I don't know what ins and outs.
Like NRL rules, won't they?
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I don't know what without
Which
going
what we
into
do
it
anyway.
properly.
3 years too late.
Well, yeah. I think. Do you know? I do think though that they might do it now because we have matched them, haven't we? With this is three seasons in a row now we've won World Cup Challenge.
Apart from last year when it didn't take place, but yeah,
when it didn't take place.
Last 3 times it's been on, it's been one over here.
Yeah, so you did them, didn't you? You did them.
So
Wigan.
Yeah, we did Penrith. Wigan did it at home against Penrith, and KR did
Rovers at Broncos. Yeah, so like I say, it's one of those. I feel like I think unless you class Ashes World Cup, you know, we know Australia probably still better than England.
The thing is, though, you've got the best of the best from Australia playing for the Kangaroos.
You have.
So
yeah, you have.
Different ball game there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Speaking of which, I'll jump to this one first. Halifax have been granted approval to enter the Championship for the remainder of the 2026 season.
I've just seen Ben Crooks. Ben Crooks just put a TikTok on.
Ben Crooks is very happy about it.
Yeah, he's very happy about it.
It's not Halifax Panthers as what it was. Apparently, it's a rebrand of it sort of thing.
Oh, really?
It's almost like a restart. They have to start on a 12-point deduction, and they have to fulfil 2 fixtures that they missed against Sheffield and Barrow, respectively. But again, it's good to see the club have come back and they're back in the league. So well done to them. But Jay Field had to go for emergency surgery for an appendicitis this week. Looks set to miss 4 to 6 weeks. So even though he plays for Wigan, he hope he recover well. London Broncos and North Wales Crusaders record the highest ever scored a game of rugby league since day one, with a 106 to 18 scoreline.
106-18, yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Incredible, isn't it?
This is why and do you know what? North Wales aren't a bad side, and it just shows what London can possibly do this season.
Yeah, no, like I say, they've got a good team, haven't they? And like I say, they're going in the right direction. We know they missed out on Super League, but I were 100% behind them that they were gonna. I don't know if winning the championship were on the cards, but they'll certainly be somewhere around, won't they?
Oh yeah, I mean they're definitely going to go up next season. It's impossible not to.
Well, yeah, hopefully
system.
they'll. I don't know if they're doing relegation promotion. I'd like to think so, but
that's where we need Carl Stato.
Yes, Carl with Stato. Yeah, I know we're a man down.
I'm going to go into the injury news. I'll start with Lee Leopards. Joe Overhenge is out, and so is Bailey Hodgson for the long term. There's a curse on fullbacks at the minute, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
Obviously, we've got Bailey Hodgson out, Jack Wellsby out, Jay Fields gone down. There's others as well.
Will Price,
he's gone for the season. Fullbacks just aren't doing well at the minute.
No, they're not.
Utility Matt Davis out with a head injury. He failed his HIA. Catalans, Ben Garcia picked up an unspecified injury against Saints. They haven't given any information on that yet, so we'll see. Huddersfield, Sam Alsall with a hamstring. He's going to be out for a while. Hull FC, again, absolutely haunted here by injuries.
Yeah.
Aidan Caesar took an eye poke. He's 50-50 whether he plays. Jed Cartwright hamstring and Harvey Barron ankle. They could be out for a number of weeks. Recent news that only came earlier on today. For Saints, Alex Walmsley with a foot injury up to 6 weeks. Paul Rowley was saying that he's been playing on one leg for the majority there, which it all makes sense now. And
so he's Is Alex Walmsley? Is he been injured for a few weeks? And do you think? And is he seen me playing on one leg?
I didn't notice it, but he was limping in the Catalan game at some point. So that's probably what it is. And it's probably better to leave him out now. Let him get rested.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Tyson Smoothie failed a HIA, and for Wakefield, and an unspecified injury for Max Jowett. He'll be a big miss for Wakefield.
Yeah, no, certainly. Does it have a time
early on? So that might come later in the week or over the weekend or something. But
yeah, no, he's
they're the players who are definitely going to miss out this week anyway.
Yeah, certainly.
So we've got this week's fixtures, Jordan.
Yeah, this week's fixtures. So Thursday, Wakefield Trinity at home to Hull FC. That's another game. In it, we were talking about Hull FC with injuries, Wakefield not hitting the heights. How would you call that one?
Oh, so I've gone to me our league predictor because I've already done them before I even gone to any podcasting. I've done Wakefield to win, but I think it's going to be very close. Maybe a 2-point game.
I personally feel like Hull will win that game just because I don't think it's going to sit right with how they lost last week or this week. There's definitely got to... I mean, you can say that about both teams. You can say, Trinity we're getting beat by Warrington, and obviously Hull being beat by York by the drop goal. So both teams, I think, very much need it. It just becomes down to that who wants it.
I think it's going to be a bit of a dogfight, to be honest. It'll be a low-scoring game. I'll say like a 16-14 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I would say, yeah. So obviously that's Thursday. There's only one game Thursday night, and then we've got Friday. We've got Leopards at home to the Dragons, which, to be fair, I kind of see that a one-way traffic.
Do you know what's in the recent? I'm going Catalan. I think it's just going to click.
Are you going Catalan?
It started clicking against us, and I think it is going to start clicking for Catalan.
It's got to do, hasn't it, at some point?
Yeah. And Lee aren't exactly flushed in the squad anyway, so
yeah,
I think it'll be a close one, a couple of points in it, but I think Catalan will edge you.
I think Leopards are going to win quite comfortably. I'd say they'll win by maybe 18, 22 points, I think, with it being at home as well. So that's that Friday. Then we've got another game Friday night. We've got York Knights at home to the Warrington Wolves. That is a very good game.
It is. And as well as York have been playing, I think Warrington will have far too much pace for them. And I think they'll hang in there till about the last half an hour, then I think Warrington will start opening the floodgates in.
I do believe that might be a game like with the Rhinos and York game where they'll play good certain rounds, you know what I mean? They'll give a game like they have been. I think then they'll hit a game where they'll get absolutely trounced. And I think that's probably, I think it's fair to say, I think that's going to be that game.
Tight till about 50 minutes and then they'll start running away with it, Warrington.
Yeah, I agree. So that's the Friday games. And then we've got Saturday. We've got 2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday. So Saturday we've got your guys, St Helens at home to Bradford.
Yeah, it's going to be like old times.
That's I bet it's been a while since that's happened, hasn't it?
Yeah. In fact, we haven't played Bradford since we were at North Road, I think.
That's what I mean. I don't think so, no. Yeah. I don't think so.
So you've not had
going
to be interesting.
Cupper out, have you?
No, we've been wanting it, but we haven't had it. I'm going to go with the Saints win, but I don't think Bradford's going to make it easy for us.
No. It's one of those, isn't it? They're not the Bradford that they were, and that's going to take time. If they ever get to that point where they're attracting higher profile players and they get to that point where they're competing again or if they ever do compete, we don't know. But I think, they're going to stand out for that game. They're going to want to do something.
They're not going to back down. They'll stand up to us.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree. I think you'll win. I think you'll win. I think maybe 12 points, maybe 2 tries. I think you'll win by 12 points. I
Yeah,
think.
it won't be a bigger score as Catalan.
No,
At least
definitely
a bigger
not.
point gap.
But could be an odd one. This, I don't know what you think, but the last game on Saturday. Well, to be fair, this kicks off before the Saints game. To be fair, but to lose at home to Wigan. Now, I think that
Yeah,
may be a situation
I'm
with.
going through the games that Toulouse have had. This is the first proper test now. See what they can actually do. Because I'm no disrespect to anyone else. They've not played a top side yet.
Yeah, no, I
and they
agree.
will be this week. So I'm going for a Wigan win. I think it's going to be a comfortable one as well.
Yeah, I think it's one of those as well where they don't have to, they're playing away. They don't have to kill them, do they? Do you know what I mean? With scoreline, if they won by 6 points, it's a win, isn't it? People will maybe think that, with it being in Toulouse and it's a new team, you know what I mean? Like say when we had Catalans for the first time and no one could win in Catalans when it started. Yeah. It may be the case where Toulouse, but who knows? But yeah, I'll go with a Warriors win there. I think they'll be too strong for Toulouse, if I'm being honest. And then on to Sunday. We've got 2 games on Sunday that kick off at the same time. So we've got Huddersfield Giants at home to Rovers. It's got to be a Rovers win, hasn't it? That.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of the game against Leeds, I think they're going to be hurting and they're going to have chips on their shoulders. They're going to have something to prove, and I think poor Huddersfield are going to be the recipients of it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I know you'll have seen we've seen press conference with Willie Peters, and
he was very honest in it as well. He was very, very honest.
He was very honest, and I think, to be fair, I do actually like that about him. Brad Arthur's same, which you don't really have that, these days. Like they weren't protecting the players. He were very much out there wanting where, it weren't good enough. And it's one of these, like say we said this, didn't we, to Carlos?
He held himself accountable as well. He said, "Listen, it's not good for players, and it starts at the top with me."
Yeah, no, which is good.
He's got work to do.
But like I was saying, it's like we said to Carlos. It's almost like a curse a little bit. Like when I said it in part one, when you're on such a high and you've won every trophy in one season, it is difficult to get yourself back up again and go again.
Yeah.
You are deflated. You are tired. They've had a fantastic season. They won Broncos. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't know if it's a mentality of, we don't need to do it again. We've done it. But they've got to go and play again. They've got to play and they've got to win.
If they played like a Saints or a Warrington or a Wigan this next game, it could have been a long day for them. But I think dropping on a fixture like Huddersfield, I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, I think they need. I wouldn't say they need a good scoreline, win. They just need a good performance. I think.
Yeah, do you know what? I think they would need a big scoreline to get the confidence back again.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Just
they've been like that. It's been roller coaster at the minute.
Well, this is it though as well. They've got a bye, haven't they? They've got to obviously play, because obviously it's the Warrington game, and it got postponed for the for World Cup Challenge. So it's a long season, and we know what they're capable of. We know that they're going to be up there, aren't they? Whether they retain the title or not, they're going to be up there.
Yeah, they'll still be up there challenging.
Yeah, 100%. So so that game we've both gone Rovers. Is Rhinos are at home to Cass. I would love to see the same result as the Vegas, which I think could happen.
Yeah, I think it might be a closer game, but I don't see anything other than an easy Rhinos win.
Yeah, I would very much say, with it being at home as well, I think, we've got a long turnaround, so we don't play till Sunday, so we're not playing till back end of weekend sort of thing.
Yeah.
So we've got obviously Aledzki, Matatui. We've got those two that could potentially come back. Don't think we've got any injuries, if I'm being honest. So going into that game, and we know Mako Siver will be on fire with how he played. So yeah, I just hopefully it can be a good game for Leeds. But yeah, I think we're both saying Leeds.
Yeah, I'm going to Leeds quite comfortable.
Yeah, I'd say quite comfortable. So they're the games for this round coming. We'll just mention as well that we've got Carlos. Carlos is he messaged his group. To be fair, we've got his vlog coming, which to be fair I forgot about because I thought he didn't do one because he's been obviously very busy over there. We've got a vlog coming that I will post socials once I've sorted it out, which will be very enjoyable to watch. Hopefully, got Jordan Lilly. It'll just be when it comes out. We've got Jordan Lilly for his interview. Hopefully, we'll have Carlos back then after he's had his long nap.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Lead it. It's what?
I don't blame him. He's getting too old for all this now.
Yeah, no, it's. I think we can all tip his hat to him, sort of thing. Those sort of saying, it's very, very good of the guy. That is, the week before he went to watch his team at World Cup Challenge and then jetted off to Vegas. I think it's definitely something to be applauded for. The dedication to his side. I thought it were really good. I think he'll be living in a cardboard box for the rest of the year, but I'm sure he spent a lot of pennies.
So, I woke up at 6 o'clock one Sunday morning a couple of weeks ago, and when you find yourself in that position where you're just not sure what you're doing, you start thinking all kind of mad stuff. Then you start Googling mad stuff.
Yeah, I mean that.
Got the idea in my head of under what the world record is for the most conversions in a minute. So I looked it up and it's 13 and thought, I can do that. So at 6 in the morning, I applied to take on this Guinness World Record for the most conversions in a minute. And I got the email back last week saying it was accepted.
Oh, brilliant.
So it's game on. I may have a venue. Just don't have a date yet, but I'm working on that. I'm also going to run a charity fundraiser alongside it for the Steve Prescott Foundation and also for the Saints Academy Tour of Australia 2026. Basically to help fund them. So yeah, there's my little plug.
Oh, brilliant! Let's hope you can get this filmed. This attempt, because then at least we can.
I have to film the whole thing. I have to film 2 watches time a day. I have to have a slow motion video of it, and I need like 2 independent witnesses at least. So it's all very, very official. All very official.
I suppose it's got to be, hasn't it? 13 in a minute.
Yeah, that's the current record, and it's a rugby union record, so it's from the 22-metre line. So what if a league fan comes and beats that? It's a win for the sport.
So how does that work then, exactly? Are they already set up on cones and...
Yeah, so I can have as many helpers as I can, as I want, to help retrieve balls and place them, set them up and all that. Yeah. One can be directly in front of the sticks. One is halfway between the middle and the left touchline, and one on the right side. And I just alternate between them. So
he's literally just running to the ball.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of running, so I'm going to have to get my fitness up if I'm going to do it.
Yeah. No, I'm going to say, because like I say, you haven't got much time, have you, there?
Straight. Yeah, just get the ball straight and be all right.
Yeah, no, fair play to you, and good luck with that one, mate. If you're a thing for of a week or anything to go by, where you got smashed by, Wolfie?
Oh, still going to call him out, by the way, Wolfie. I'm going to want a rematch.
Well, you've got your practicing there with your kicks.
Yeah, buddy kicking.
So yeah,
that ball was like 3 times the size of the normal rugby ball as well. As bloody heavy.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, if I knew it was going to be that heavy, I'd have bit it harder. Oh, excuses.
But yeah, Gaz, on to you.
Yeah, so big thank you to everyone who's supporting us so far. Keep liking, commenting, sharing, tell all your friends about it. If they don't like it, then I don't blame them. Massive thank you to Acorn Joinery Leeds for sponsoring us, and remember, the podcast is for the fans, by the fans.